We protect the skies over the UK, keeping the country safe. And we also provide help overseas by sending humanitarian aid to those that need it. We have to be ready at a moment's notice, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. We are the Royal Air Force, and this is no ordinary job. When you think of the RAF, you might think of pilots, fast jets, and display teams like the Red Arrows. But did you know there are hundreds of people working behind the scenes to keep the RAF moving? We have medics and nurses, we have chefs and photographers, we have firefighters and police officers. And amongst this incredible team of talented people, we have a world-class team of engineers and technicians. Without them, our aircraft wouldn't even leave the ground. So what do our engineering teams do? What is life in the Royal Air Force really like? Is there a role for you? We're going to take you on a journey to find out about life in the RAF. From travelling the world to playing Rocket League during work time, the RAF may surprise you. Let's start by hearing from some of the people who work in engineering right now to learn about what they get up to day to day.
Hi, my name's Gemma and I am a Wing Commander in the Royal Air Force, where I'm currently employed as an engineering officer. As an engineering officer, I have specialised in aerosystems, so in the aircraft side of engineering. At the moment, my job is working on the Typhoon aircraft, which I love, and my role includes introducing new capability to the aircraft. Sometimes it's new weapons, new avionics, and new sensors, so it's all quite exciting.
So my name's Corporal Beckham and I'm an aircraft technician avionics. Basically, aircraft technician avionics, we fix the electrical side of the aircraft, so that comes from like the comms, the radio systems, to autopilots, the weapons systems, panels, radars, all sorts of the electronic side of things. So anything that uses an electrical system, we fix. If it's a moving part, it'll be the mechanical aircraft technicians that deal with that.
I'm Chief Tech Mark Long. I joined the Air Force in October 2000 as an aircraft technician for avionics. I went through training and learned how to facilitate the fixing of aircraft and all the software systems on aircraft. I've worked fixing the electronics on Jaguar aircraft, so all the different systems that are on Jaguar, from laser heads to inertial navigation systems. I've then moved into the world of electronic warfare and producing software for electronic warfare for aircraft platform safety.
It changes every day and I love that variety. Some days I can be looking at something new that we're going to put on the aircraft. Other days it's looking at something old and thinking, how can we change it and how can we improve it? So we'll be looking at documentation to assess if we've got enough evidence. We'll be speaking to the pilots to see what new things they want as well. So quite a lot of different things going on all at the same time.
It might feel scary to join such a huge organisation with so many new people to meet. Well, this is where all of our RAF personnel started out, and they have so many exciting stories to tell you. First, we're going to hear from Ryan, a communications electronics engineer who can tell you about life on an RAF base and what things he's learned about the force since he's joined.
My name's Ryan, and I'm a communication electronics engineer in the Royal Air Force. I studied aviation engineering with pilot studies. It's exactly the same as an aerospace degree, but we got to do our pilot's license at the same time. So specifically to my role now, I'm a staff officer. We're replacing all of the now obsolete equipment with smaller, more compact, more advanced communication equipment, and these are all going out, being deployed on exercises currently. RAF High Wycombe is quite different to most stations because this is where all the decisions in the Air Force are made. There you're experiencing a lot of the big decision makers, so you can see how they work, what they do, what their kind of goals are and how they achieve them. Common misconceptions that I initially had about, well, the military as a whole were that everything's going to be very regimented, you're going to be told where you're going, what you're going to be doing, you've got to cut your hair short. But then as soon as I joined up, all of these myths started to dissipate very quickly. The lack of flexibility as well is one of those things that I was quite worried about initially. Like I'd miss Christmas, I'd miss birthdays. In reality, it's so easy. If I ever want to go somewhere for something, I just speak to my boss and then put my dates in my calendar. He hasn't not approved one yet. There's all these traditions, like you can either applaud or you can knock on the table. So it comes from back in the day, Lord Nelson, when he lost his arm, he wanted to make him feel better rather than applaud him and tap on the table. The Air Force is rich with tradition. One of my favourite things is all the events on throughout the year. You'll have a summer ball, you'll have your Christmas draw, which is like another big ball, but it's all centred around a big raffle that's done. And this year we've had a flight in a Spitfire given out. It's definitely that identity that it gives you. It's also, you feel like you're a part of history. It's amazing, and I really, really love it. For me, work-life balance here is absolutely incredible. Compared to other jobs I've had in the past, it's almost like being back at university. Because there are so many young people in their 20s living together, there's a bar on site. Most of the time, I'll finish work, I'll go train, I'll go for dinner, and then I'll go sit in the bar with a lot of my friends. I have a dog as well, so there's a little community that we've started here, which are for all the dog owners. We go walk our dogs together, we let them play. There's so many different clubs and organisations and things to do. You can even start flying. You can join the rugby teams, golf teams, all things like that. The things I know now compared to what I didn't know before when it comes to starting the RAF, well, there's actually an awful lot. When it comes to flexibility, I can talk to my career manager, I can explain to them where I want to push my career. One of the big fields opening up now is in cyber. There are plenty of roles available in there, and if I wanted to, I can speak to my boss and say, look, this is the way I want to push my career. And they generally would really help you do that. Because if you're happy, you're going to be motivated, you're going to stay around longer, and you're going to have a motivated, happy workforce. So generally, everyone works for each other. Everyone wants everyone to be happy and to perform the best they can. When I was interested, I was scouring online forums, I was going through all of this trying to find bits of information. I wish I just went straight to the careers office. The people in there know better than most people on the internet. People aren't really very well informed there. They might have had a little crack at it, or they might have had a bit of experience with a friend or something that went through. But I wish I went straight to the careers office. That was the best thing I did. They got me booked straight onto station visit. The big one I went to was Coningsby. I saw all the Typhoon. I got to speak to the engineers there. They told me about the job. It took me from being completely in the dark about what this job was going to be and whether or not I wanted it, to being so well informed and having a good picture of what I was getting into. So I wish I did that from the beginning.
Being in the RAF can be like being in one big family. It's a huge opportunity to meet people from all over the globe and make friends for life. Let's meet some of our personnel and find out what inspired them to join up and how they took that first step to apply.
So my love of the Air Force started from a really young age. I was really lucky to go to Blackpool Airport, where my dad was working, and the Red Arrows were also showing. And I saw the aircraft perform, but it wasn't that really motivated me. It was seeing the team of people that were responsible for the aircraft. They were all working together for this common aim of getting the aircraft airborne and doing the spectacular displays.
In the area I grew up in, we had a lot of low-flying fast jets, and so I always knew that I wanted to join the Royal Air Force. And when I went to university, I joined the University Air Squadron, which was a very good path to joining up fully as a regular.
I have been in the Royal Air Force for 4 years now. I was going to go to university. However, when I got to college, I realised that that path wasn't necessarily for me. I found it was still too rigid, and I wanted to be a bit more free. I wanted to have the opportunity to be challenged every day and to travel, which is why I decided to join the RAF.
I joined the Royal Air Force to be a linguist because I've always had an interest in languages. I did French and Latin at school, and I also had a love of flying as well, so I thought, where can I fly and where can I be a linguist? So this job really jumped up to me.
I initially joined the RAF because I was working in an office and I just hated being in an office Monday to Friday 9 till 5. I wanted something a bit more. I had two friends that were in the Air Force and they were having a great time.
I didn't want to be stuck in one environment, and I knew again that by nursing in the Air Force that I would be able to nurse in different environments and different locations, and variety was really key for me.
So in 2009 I decided to join the RAF. Whilst at a rugby tournament I met the Spitfire Sevens rugby team. Seeing them play rugby and doing that as part of their career is what kind of made me want to join up. That's the reason why I chose to become a military policeman, because being able to do sport and a lot of social activity in your job it proves that it's not just a job, it's the lifestyle that comes with it as well.
I realised that there was this whole world of engineering out there, and engineering pieced together my favourite bits of science, my favourite bits of maths, and added a few new dimensions into it. This world of engineering, this world of sometimes take it apart, sometimes build it, design, work as a team, work by myself. That's what really generated my interest.
Have a think about what inspires you. What subjects do you enjoy? What kind of things are you good at? What do you love to do outside of school? You never know. You might just be our next generation of engineers. A team many of you will probably recognise are our official aerobatic display team, the Red Arrows. They are ambassadors of our organisation and travel the world to showcase the RAF's excellence. But did you know that there is a huge team of engineers and technicians working behind the scenes? The teamwork shown by our pilots in the air is reflected in the dedication and professionalism of our support staff on the ground. Here's a glimpse at their story.
The Red Arrows formed in '64, so we started displaying in 1965. We started off as a 7-ship display team, and then within 3 years, '68, it went to a 9-ship, and now we're into our 55th season. When we go overseas on a big tour like the North American tour, this is showcasing the best of British, so we are ambassadors, we're flying the flag for Great Britain.
Being in the Red Arrows sums up everything that is great about a full-service career, especially as a fast jet pilot. We get to fly these beautiful aircraft, and whilst they're getting on for about 30 years old, they handle like a little sports car. Trust is the one key word that binds the whole team together, be it the 9 pilots displaying on a day-to-day basis, the engineers here who are making these aircraft airworthy. Some of the unsung heroes of the team are the ones that don't even get seen. People like the dye team, who pump the smoke into the aircraft, and they've got such simple yet effective engineering methods, like listening for the smoke valves clattering inside the dye pod, filling it with the 5 minutes of white and the 1 minute of red and 1 minute of blue smoke that make up that iconic part of our display. Getting ready and preparing as a team is one of the most important parts of the display, about getting into that mission bubble, that sacrosanct period of time. It's a very well-defined period where we will all kit up together in the corridor, and then we all walk out together as a team, ready to start that choreographed display right on the second that I ask for the engines to start.
Good morning, we've got 9 aircraft requesting start.
Red Arrow startup approved, runway 22 right hand, QFE 1009.
I use my voice as an inflection tool for the rest of the pilots. So sometimes I can quite smoothly and calmly tell them that I'm about to pull up, and on that pulling up command, they will go with me. But at other times, if the weather's poor, or if I need to turn quickly, the intonation and the inflection of my voice goes up. They know instantly, without even having to look, that they need to react much, much quicker.
9. Roar, 6, and roar! Over, right. Now, right. Six, 6. Back out, back out. Oh, okay.
When you eventually leave the Red Arrows, which comes to us all, you spend the rest of your living days talking about the time that you were a Red Arrows pilot.
Being in the RAF is more than a job, it's a lifestyle. But you can still be your own self. Meet Rotimi. He's a flying officer in engineering and has an ordinary lifestyle alongside his extraordinary job.
My name is Rotimi. I'm a flying officer in the RAF. The military is just not what I thought it would have been initially. I thought it was a massive commitment, and if I join, then that's it. I don't have my life. But that's not true at all. It's not 24 hours of the day. You do get your own space, and you can be your own self. This is his own game. Knowing that I've got friends with the same sort of passion and ambition helps me. Just grinding with each other in difficult situations pulls us together. That's just the bond that you get in the RAF. People will go out their way to help you.
Solid effort, bro, solid effort.
There's a time for everything. I'm free, I get my weekends.
Man, like.
I know Stephen through primary school, and we've been friends ever since. Very loyal, he's just humble. Elton went to the same secondary school as me, the same college. He played at the same basketball club. Known him for quite a while. He's a good friend.
Comfortable?
You're gonna always run into hurdles, barriers. You can't run away from it because sometimes that can be the only gate through. I've been through situations where I've been way out my depth, but I figured that I could just step up and get past those barriers. Remember, like, trainers used to hang on these.
How did he get those down? Yeah.
I just love traveling. I'd hope to get deployed abroad. When you travel, it breaks prejudices, because then you understand about other people's culture and you start to realize what they're about. About 3.5, 4 years?
Yeah, coming up to 4 years. Yeah, I've pretty much seen him more than I thought I would. Whenever he has a free weekend, I go up to see him or he drives down to see me. He's always been ambitious, but I guess the RAF has made him more ambitious.
I just find planes fascinating, the way they're designed. There's no other job where we can be exposed to this sort of technology. It makes me feel proud. We love our basketball. I'm in the senior men's team. I've still got a few seasons left. I'm now on my second phase of training in aero systems engineering.
Why don't we get out of here?
Confidence, belief, resilience. The RAF has really expanded that for me. It's just made me feel like I can do things that I never thought I could.
Hey, ready?
You can join the RAF in many different ways, from speaking to a recruiter at an Armed Forces career office, to going on our website. Or you might like the idea of applying for an RAF apprenticeship, a great way for you to learn new skills whilst being paid and get your foot in the door. Let's hear from our personnel about the qualifications you need, the apprenticeship opportunities available, and what other benefits are involved.
The Royal Air Force does offer apprenticeships for those individuals who are leaving full-time education at the age of 16. It does depend on what role that you take on as to what qualifications the apprenticeship offers.
When you join up or apply for an apprenticeship, you have the opportunity to undertake an MVQ, a level 3 qualification. That was a stepping stone really for me to then progress on to complete a degree.
The RAF offers apprenticeships with pretty much every ground role that you can apply for. As a logistics supplier, I did a MVQ level 2 in supply chain warehousing operative, and I also went on to do a level 3 as well.
When you join the Air Force as an avionics technician, it is a level 3 apprenticeship in aeronautical engineering. Once you have finished your technician course at Cosford, you then go on to do your on-the-job training, where you have to do your tradeability test to get signed off, and then that will give you your full level 3 qualification.
So previously, when I went through training, it was a level 2 aviation operations on the ground apprenticeship, but now they've just brought in a level 3 firefighter operations apprenticeship, which is now civilian recognised as well.
So most of the job roles we have in the RAF as a non-commissioned role, so ground trade, is an apprenticeship training role. With this, you'll complete your 10 weeks basic training at RAF Holton, and then you continue on to your phase 2, your technical training. And while you're there, you'll get a level 2 or level 3 MVQ in your chosen subject.
For anyone wanting to join the RAF, there are certain requirements that you have to meet, whether this is fitness, GCSE results, but all this could be found if you speak to your career office or if you go on the Royal Air Force website.
Some roles in the RAF, you could be offered sponsorship or bursaries to university. These are mainly based around your engineering and technical roles and the medical roles in the RAF. With these, you have to be going to a university that's attached to a university air squadron. It's a bit like air cadets, but a bit more advanced. You'll be able to hone your more personal qualities and have a better understanding of what life as an officer in the RAF could be in the future.
I think the best thing about doing my apprenticeship with the Royal Air Force was getting paid whilst completing it. There was also many benefits like free dental care, on-station medical care, and also living on camp for reduced rates.
My top tips for anyone going through recruitment is take the advice of the recruiter. So if we send you a link of a video to watch it. Don't just put it on in the background while this morning's playing. If we give you paperwork to fill it in and send it back in good time. So listen to your recruiter. They are there to guide you. They're there to do their job, and they will help you through the process as much as they can.
Join the Royal Air Force and you'll get much more than just a job. You'll have opportunities that no other employer can hope to match. From flying in the back of a Chinook helicopter to skiing overseas or serving food for the Queen, life in the RAF is a unique experience. The Royal Air Force provides countless unique opportunities for young people, allowing you to have the perfect work-life balance. Beyond work, you'll have the opportunity to travel the world. Participate in a variety of sport or get support to further your education. No 2 days will be the same. The RAF is what you make it.
Working in such a big organisation is great because you see all these different trades and people coming together, working towards the same goal. And at the same time, the Air Force is actually quite small, so you'll see someone in basic training and become friends with them. And then 3 years later, you'll meet them on a tiny island in the Atlantic. And then 3 years later, you'll see them in the mess. And it's a big organisation. It is a tight-knit family.
Everyone says camaraderie is great in the Air Force, and it genuinely is. You enter and you think, oh, maybe not so much, maybe everyone just gets on with their job. But the friends I've made since joining up are incredible. You don't speak for years, then you meet each other in a bar somewhere, and it's like you've never left.
For me, the best thing in the Royal Air Force is to travel, and the people you meet a right cross-section of people with fascinating stories. You will travel in the Royal Air Force. It's what we do, we fly.
Countries I've been to range from the north of Norway, up in the Arctic Circle, all the way down to Central America, across to most of Europe, Africa. So I've seen quite a lot of the continents and a lot of the countries.
One of the perks is that you can undertake adventurous training, which doesn't count as your annual leave, so you are on duty while you're doing it. I've had the opportunity while I've been into kayak in Sweden, as well as climbing in Italy and skiing in France. So there are lots of opportunities available to everybody.
So job security in the military is very good. You are offered when you first join the Air Force a 12-year engagement, which means the Air Force is saying to you, you have a job for 12 years. I don't think any other company other than the military can guarantee a job.
To anyone that's considering joining the RAF, I could not recommend it highly enough. It's lived up to my expectations. The opportunities out there are endless, and that might sound like a cliche, but they really are. There's opportunities to do anything that you want to do. You will require a proactive approach. Not all the opportunities will come to you. You will have to go and find them, work for them, but they are out there.
I was really lucky in that I got to fly in the back of a Typhoon aircraft, which is one of the aircraft that my team of technicians had been working on. Just to be in a Typhoon, to be airborne, to be seeing what that aircraft can do and the technology that goes into it, it was pretty exciting.
But get out there, just find out what's out there, because it won't come to you. And the more you find out, the more exciting your career will be.
Among the countless opportunities to travel and compete in sports, there's one team in the RAF you might not have heard about. They use skill and reaction time in Rocket League and put their teamwork to the test in Fortnite. Meet the RAF esports team. Join them and you could be playing whilst on duty, taking part in gaming events across the globe. And if you've got the skills to be a gamer, you're probably closer to an engineer than you think.
The advantages of gaming in the RAF: reaction times,
doing your tactics,
teamwork,
computer technical expertise as well. A lot of our trades in the RAF work with computers.
Everyone coming in now has already got the skill sets for the stuff that we use, the experience and the more knowledge really of the now technology.
Good for your coordination, it kind of keeps you going. A lot of situational awareness, especially in what I play. There's a lot of things going on, so you need to know when to do what you need to do.
Quite surprising, just from playing games such as Overwatch, how stressful a situation that can be where you're leading a team of 6, and communication is a key vital part of that. Handling high stress situations and just developing leadership from there.
It's all the same in the Air Force, so you've got your screens, you've got your buttons in front of you, your radar, it's pretty much all similar skills you're using.
I'd say the thing I enjoy the most about my role is the feeling of being part of something bigger than yourself, having an identity and being part of a large family. It's an extremely rewarding walk of life to be part of.
I would say the Air Force has given me a much more exciting life than I might have had I not joined up.
So to sum up my career in 3 words would be to call it challenging.
Excitement, the excitement of going to all these different places.
It's been exciting and it's been hugely rewarding.
Enjoyment. I've had a fantastic time. The people you meet from different countries, different backgrounds, has been second to none.
Motivational and inspirational.
And money, it's quite a well-paid job.
As you can see, there is so much more to the RAF than you might have realised. And engineering in the RAF is more than a career. It's a lifestyle. Not only will you be part of the team that keeps the RAF flying, but you will make unforgettable memories along the way. Engineers make it happen, and the RAF is what you make of it. Search RAF recruitment to find your force.